Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Another XRP killer, guys. We've heard about XRP killers for the entirety of 2019. I want to go through these because at the end of the day, when you realize what Ripple is actually doing with XRP, you're going to come to this conclusion probably on your own. XRP is very unique in what it's set out to do. And Ripple wants to corner the market across the globe, literally to change the way we transact. So I want to just go through some of these old articles with you guys just to kind of give you guys a sense of where we've been with regards to the XRP killer and how, a lot of these journalists are trying to spur fear into XRP investors, essentially stating that, here's a new product that could be an XRP killer. And it's happened more times than I can even remember, although I do remember all these coming out when they were originally published. So this published from February 16th, 2019. Ordinary stablecoin or XRP killer, what we know about the JP Morgan Chase's new cryptocurrency. So guys, you remember this, JP Morgan came out with their own cryptocurrency, and essentially what it was going to be used for was for internal use, allowing JP Morgan customers to transact back and forth instantly. Great, good for them. Brad Garlinghouse came on the record by saying, why don't they just use XRP and transact with the US dollar? You literally can skip an entire step there. You don't have to use the JP Morgan coin at all. Anyway, so there was this initial fear that this could be an XRP killer, but that was debunked very quickly thereafter. Then there was this, the XRP or the Ripple killer. IBM in talks with two major US banks to create cryptocurrencies. This from March 19th, 2019. IBM had joined forces with Stellar in order to create some kind of infrastructure to transact amongst banks. And this never really gained any traction either. We know Ripple has over 200 partnerships by now, and at this time they had, well over 150. I'm just throwing that number out there. I don't actually know what the number was in March 2019, but we know Ripple's ahead of the game when it comes to, the partnerships and everything they've been doing over the last, I want to say 2.5 years with regards to building the ecosystem and the infrastructure. So this was deemed an XRP killer as well. And then there was this, big banks announced fiat pegged XRP killer crypto for settlements. This from June 3rd, 2019. And of course, this from the Bitcoinist, obviously very partial to Bitcoin news and Bitcoin use cases. This talking about several big major banks around the world using cryptocurrencies. And again, Brad Garlinghouse continually suggesting that creating a stable coin is not really necessary in an ecosystem where they can just use XRP to source liquidity. Since Ripple's technology is interoperable, companies can literally convert from one thing to anything else instantaneously using XRP as that backbone, as that cryptocurrency that sources liquidity in order for transactions to settle. So this whole idea of stable coins is kind of muddying up the space, and banks still haven't been getting it, at least at this point in time. I don't think they were understanding what Ripple can do and how useful it can be for their businesses. I think a lot of that is changing now, though. Banks and financial institutions are really starting to understand this. It's kind of like their aha moment happened in the latter half of 2019. I think one of the big things was the push with MoneyGram and Ripple's partnership with them. I think that really gave Ripple some clout and really opened the eyes of so many different banks and financial institutions at that point. Not that MoneyGram is so influential that everybody's going to say, oh wow, look, they're partnered with one of the biggest companies in the world or anything like that. It's just that, when you see that kind of name brand like MoneyGram partnering up with a Silicon Valley company, where, only 12 months before that, so many of these banks and financial institutions were very skeptical on Ripple, were very skeptical on cryptocurrency. Now you're seeing that marriage and you're starting to see results. There was this as well when PayPal started their Zoom app. And here from Yahoo Finance, PayPal fires up Ripple killer Zoom app for international payments. This from July 23rd, 2019. So a lot of Ripple killer, in quotes, articles coming out in 2019. I know myself, I had done videos on this, particularly this Ripple XRP. Finality is not an XRP killer. They are adding redundancy to an inferior system. Guys, I'll link this video up here if you want to watch it. And so despite all these quote unquote Ripple killers, there still has yet to be a technology that will indeed kill the Ripple technology and XRP, the cryptocurrency. And guys, you know why? I feel that Ripple has done their due diligence and done the work to get XRP into the minds of the important people, and that's where we're going to see XRP flourish because of the work they had decided to do right out of the gates. And it's smart because you can't just do what Facebook did, for example, with Libra and just come out and say, we're doing this come hell or high water. And then they go to court and then, the SEC's telling them all the reasons why they can't do this. And, there's back and forth. And of course, Facebook has had their privacy issues and trust issues now with their customers. So Ripple's going about it the best way possible to get XRP ingrained in people's minds, to get it kind of just embedded in our DNA, in our social DNA, in our economic DNA globally, so that the world will eventually run on Ripple. Now, that's not to say that people are still trying to make alternatives. Guys, I saw this a few days ago. So Bitcoin's credentials as a medium of exchange may be far from dead. So this has to do with the fact that somebody is suggesting that there is a way now for Bitcoin to actually be a feasible mechanism to be able to transfer value from one person to another. Now, we know that Bitcoin fees rise as the price of Bitcoin rises. Mining gets more difficult, and so those fees tend to rise. And so this guy here, Ilias Sima, suggests that, yes, although that is true, the fact that when we see a stable price for Bitcoin, that is not the case. And so these fees are essentially more reasonable. And it's only in Bitcoin bull markets where we start to see the price become too expensive to be able for these transactions to function. But ultimately what people want to see, though, is Bitcoin to rise. I don't think there are any Bitcoiners out there, Bitcoin maximalists out there, who don't want the price of Bitcoin to go to 1 million per BTC one day. I could be wrong, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody out there who is going to say, I'm happy with the price Bitcoin is at today, and I don't need it to go any higher. It's fine if it's stable from here, and then I can use it to transact. So his theory's a little flawed here, although people are continuing to try to make Bitcoin that method of value exchange that, it just wasn't designed to do ultimately. Another one here from a few days ago, Kim.com. And if you guys do not know Kim.com, he is the guy who created Mega Upload along with other torrent websites, I believe. He created. And, he was an early Bitcoin investor way back when. And this is the kind of guy Kim.com is, for those of you guys who do not know. This is a song, I think, that he created or something like that called Kim.com, Good Life, something like that. Anyway, it's a video of him essentially showing off all his riches. He's purported to sleep all day and party all night. I think he lives on an island somewhere in New Zealand, maybe somewhere around there. There's stormtroopers on Sea-Doos. And, this is the kind of guy Kim.com is, just to kind of give you guys some context with this. Nevertheless, he's still a working man. Kim.com eliminates Bitcoin scalability issues. So Kim.com has been pioneering the fight for internet freedom with his crypto rewards platform, K.IM, being the latest venture in this regard. .com featured on a recent Crypto Lark interview to discuss the internet's original promise for delivering freedom of speech, freedom of commerce, and freedom of finance, something which he believes can be fulfilled through technology and innovation. Claiming Kim.IM platform is a significant player in the crypto space, .com highlighted that the platform will support Bitcoin transactions among other cryptocurrencies and provide users with added benefits for using its in-house token, Kimcoin. .com also claimed that through the K.IM platform, he had created a masterpiece that is going to be as disruptive and beautiful as everything I've done in the past, he claims. As a disclaimer to the company's expected growth, .com added the adoption rate may be a bit slower because we're talking about crypto here, which is still a niche on the internet, but this product is going to open up crypto for many more people and actual use cases where you can utilize a crypto for something that is useful to you. .com also clarified this reason for not using Bitcoin and instead creating Kimcoin based on the Bitcoin sidechain instead of ERC20. He added that the company is looking for a technology that will eliminate Bitcoin's scalability issues and provide high-speed real-time payments. So could Kimcoin potentially be an XRP killer? Let me remind you guys who the head of Kimcoin is, okay? Sleep all day, party all night, and yes, he's showing off all his riches in his music video. I'm sure he got really, really, really rich, stinking filthy rich from Bitcoin. And so This is the kind of guy Kim.com is, will the world take Kim seriously? I have a feeling it's a long shot. This might be disruptive for some people. Of course, there are countries with financial struggles. We live in the West, most of us do at least. And when you come from a country where your dollar is strong and fairly stable, it's more difficult to understand that some people do come from countries where they would need a technology like this, and historically they have used Bitcoin. In my opinion, this will never gain mainstream adoption. And guys, you got to remember, Ripple has already done their due diligence around the world in order to make it the choice, the standard for cross-border transactions globally. I just want to bring up this article here from last October 2018. IMF issues stark warning over Bitcoin and crypto rapidly growing. So this essentially an official statement from the IMF saying, we can't trust Bitcoin in its current form. Now, again, guys, this is over a year ago now, so obviously a lot has changed since then. But, the IMF was issuing a warning. And the people at the IMF understand that XRP is not the same kind of cryptocurrency as many of the other ones out there. It has a real use case. It was designed to be better than cryptocurrencies that preceded it, and it has a company backing it that will make waves in the world of finance. So it's important to remember all these things, guys. When you're investing in cryptocurrencies, make sure you're investing in the right ones. And to me, I always like to remember what Brad Garlinghouse keeps telling us over and over again. The cryptocurrencies that will be the most valuable are going to be the ones that actually solve real world problems. How many of the cryptocurrencies out there can do that right now? That's right, you can probably count them only on one hand, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.